This is The Scene
on BBC Radio London
with Aurie Styla.
This is The Scene.
Janet Jackson, all for you, right here on BBC Radio London. My name is Aurie Styla. This is The Scene. I got my next guest in the building with me. Me and him having a little bit of chin wag or a little conversation about the weather. And he's been showing how he's had great weather where he came from as well. Not as good as he said because it's a bit humid. But I'm jealous that he went away and I haven't. Faraaz, Kashkar, how you doing, sir?
All good, thank you.
Have I pronounced that correctly as well?
Yeah, perfect.
I want to make sure
I've had all sorts before. Someone used to call me France when I was I was back at primary school, so we've done a lot better than that today.
Nah, we did all right. We did Faraaz, Kashkar, so I got that perfect. Faraaz, first things first, I mean, I don't think I'll give justification trying to explain exactly what Faraaz does, but I can tell you where you started. You used to be a banker for Barclays, right? And then one day you said, nah, I can do something different. Tell us exactly what Faraaz does.
Yeah, so I guess the banking career was really what was the so-called dream at one point. So I left uni, I went into banking thinking this is everything I wanted to do. I did that for 4.5 years in total. But then for the last year of it, I lost my passion. Okay. I completely fell out of love with what I was doing. It became a mundane task of just going through a cycle of doing the same thing every day.
9-5 and clocking in, clocking out.
And I couldn't live like that. I needed to have something where I'm excited to wake up on a Monday morning or every morning as such. And you go home and you want to obviously, you don't want to necessarily think about work, but you don't feel like, oh God, I want to wait for every Friday evening just to have my 2-day weekend. I want to have something that in my life, my work or my business or whatever I do is something I love.
Of course, yeah.
And too many people around us are kind of doing something that they do for the sake of, obviously, if they've got a family, they've got to make enough money to support them. But too many people that don't necessarily have to do things are in a position where they can move away from their current job. They just do it out of comfort or having the money come in makes them feel like they should stay there. So I started the business up April 2018, so just over a year now. And it's really a reflection point of where I was in my life at that point. So the business is centered around positivity, with the clothings represent that through positive messaging. So the way I look at what we've created in the first line, the body's a canvas, so you can put whatever you want on that canvas. People do that through tattoos, for example, but what we're doing with the clothing is really utilising 6 different languages, all to encompass a message of positivity, unity and empowerment. And then we've brought out our homeware, so our candles and diffusers in January now, and that's all about positive mindset. So just helping people get away from their day at the end of the day, put their candle on for an hour, let's say, and really escape. We can't go on holiday like Mumbai every night, but we can put a candle and feel like we're somewhere else for a little bit.
Okay, and then am I right in saying the company? Tell me if I pronounce this, because it's you have to tell me what this means.
I'll let you do it first.
Maison des Rêves.
Maison des Rêves. So
Maison des Rêves.
Yes. So that translates to House of Dreams.
Okay.
So the purpose of the brand is to change as many lives as possible. The target we've got right now is to change 1 million lives.
Okay.
So we do so through a number of different ways, but the primary route to change as many lives as possible is through our products. We've got a underlying value of purchase with a purpose. So it just means that when anyone purchases a product, it helps someone on the other side of the world or someone even closer. For example, our caps are for mental health in the UK. Sweatshirts and hoodies provide education to a child in Nepal. The candles, for example, they light up and warm our homes over here. But the partnership for that is to provide solar light to an individual in Malawi. And we're trying to educate people through what we do as well. So in Malawi, for example, only 1 in 10 people have access to electricity. So because of that, they're using kerosene lamps, which are super dangerous, expensive to use. And because they're expensive, it means that a lot of the people don't use light in the evenings. They can't study or work in the evenings. And there's a high level of sexual abuse out there as well right now. Wow. So it's something that's super surprising to hear. But what I try and do through the business is research into different things that we can support that really take people out of a bad situation, and not just give, say, food to someone which will help them for a day or a week. Really provide long-term solutions to really take them out of poverty or whatever problems they may have.
Wow. And with these products, is so people purchase these products, and I mean a percentage or an amount will go towards supporting. So
so we typically work with a one-to-one partnership. So for example, like the T-shirt is for eye care in Sierra Leone, so it helps one individual provide them with eye care. The reason we don't like to say a certain percentage, if we go into sale, that means a percentage goes down, and it means that we can't help one person. It'll be like 0.6 of a person or whatever the percentage is that we're in sale. It means that we can't help the person completely. So rather than that, even if we're in sale, we would still donate the same amount to the various charity partnerships. So it's really about creating these long-term solutions. And as a business, my main motivation now is really hitting that 1 million target and working every day towards that.
Do you know how close you are to the target?
Nowhere near right now.
Hey,
so
every day and every step as it takes. Man,
yeah, like to be honest, we're probably on into the thousands right now of people that we helped. That's
phenomenal. That's amazing.
And yeah, like for me, it's one of them things. It's going to be an exponential curve to get towards that million target. And I know we're going to hit the million target, and then after that, the target will be to change 1 billion lives. But I'm blessed in the way that over the last 18 months or 12 months that we've been running the business, we've just had so many people that hear the story and just want to support what we do. So we sell typically in Spitalfields Market every weekend. And that's our main interaction with customers. And it's amazing to hear people, their view of what we're doing, and so many people have offered their support as well. And I think that's the only way we can really change the world we live in. It takes one person to light the match as such, but then everyone else needs to jump on board and work together and really collaborate and in making these big projects kind of come together and make a big change.
No, of course. With projects that are like this, I mean, I want to say, I mean, I don't want to call it a charity project, but it operates how a charity would do, or you expect to, where people may buy something, but then it helps maybe one person with eye care, one person with electricity, etc. Do you often get people that question, because there is obviously the view of how many charities, the larger ones, operate, that question the authenticity or sincerity of what you do? And I'm not saying because I'm questioning this, only because I know how much of a backlash charities have been having over the past few years. Do you ever have any of that kind of go towards you or what you do?
For me, I love hearing when people ask that question, because it means that they're aware of the problems that exist. So we have done a lot of due diligence and research before we tick off any collaborations or these charity partnerships. Before we sign anything, we do a lot of research, meet with them, and really get underneath what they're doing. For me, I've not trusted charities for a few years, where I feel like the percentage that is being taken away through the admin side. I understand there's admin and costs and everything for marketing, whatever it might be, but there's a lot of inefficiencies. I came across, there's a charity, I'm not going to obviously mention any charities in particular, but I've come across a charity that basically takes money, but then the money's going to another charity to actually do the work. So say, for example, the end charity gets £100 to actually do the job of whatever it is, building a well. The first charity takes £150, let's say, and then that £50 is actually vanishing, that it's being donated. So really, if people were giving money straight to that end charity, then it obviously make things a lot more efficient. But we've done like I was saying earlier, we've done a lot of due diligence and research into these charities. So for example, the one that we're working on the eye care, the charity is Vision Aid, but they partnered up with another charity called Vision for a Nation, and they've basically provided eye care to the whole of Rwanda. I think it was 2016, 2017, and we've got this data that we're working off that helps us to understand how they're going to work on the next project. Obviously, we're not there on the ground every day, so we can't overlook everything, but at the same time, you have to do as much as you can on our side. But then we leave the charities that we feel comfortable working with to do what they're best at, and we do what we're best at in terms of creating products, and really just selling something that we love.
How many on your team?
At the moment, just me. We are recruiting a couple of new sales individuals at the moment. We've got one person starting with us in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. But everything from design, production, everything. So for the example, the candles, I produce them all by hand at the moment, myself, all the way from conceptual stage to the candles. At the moment, there's 4 candles: the spa, the lodge, the cafe, and the library. It's all about transporting you to a destination. And basically all the way from the concept to end production, that's all me at the moment. But obviously, as things grow, I'd like to have more people that we can employ, whether that is local or somewhere else in the country. I'm not too sure yet, but it's something I'd love to have. Another thing is to have my own store as well. Something I'm looking at exploring right now, because I want to create more than just products. I want to have a hub for people to go to. So the brand name's Maison de Rêves, but I call our community Les Rêveurs, which is the dreamers.
Okay. So
trying to create a hub for people to come to this space, but collaborate with each other, feel comfortable in that space to really express what they're going through. An element of that is to have a yoga studio in there, something like a real chill zone for people to basically get away from their lives, but also to help them push towards what they want to achieve. So similar to where my mindset was before, where I was in banking, and now I'm doing something completely different.
No, of course, yeah.
Really allow them to have that gateway to get towards their dreams as such.
Is there any one of these? I know you're supporting several charities. But is there any one that really, really is close to your chest, or close to the heart, rather?
Yeah, so it's interesting. So when I was doing my research, I wear glasses. I can see you wear glasses as well. So the fact that vision has such a huge impact on poverty is something most people don't realize. So think about it like this: you're in school, you can't see the board. People think you're stupid. In some of these countries, they may just think you're stupid. You tell the teacher, I don't understand, or whatever. It might, because in certain regions, in the villages of some countries, the concept of not understanding something will be, okay, cool, you don't know what you're talking about, you've not listened, or whatever it is, you've not been studying hard enough. And then because of that, you'll just be falling down the pecking order. People not thinking that you'll naturally, if someone tells you you're stupid when you're growing up, it's not going to help you in your journey. And something as simple as providing eye care to a child means that they can see the board and study and get high level education. The second factor of that is parents that can't see means that they can't work. So you've got a generation of basically kids falling out of school to go and get the money to support the family. And the main thing, I've travelled since I started working, I travelled a fair bit across Asia, for example, in Vietnam and Thailand. I saw kids 3-4 years old working and kind of serving food late into the evening, maybe 2-3 o'clock in the morning even. And it just makes you think, and it's certain things like that have really impacted my journey and made me think that really I want to go away from that kind of corporate mindset and do something that has a bigger impact on the world. And at the end of the day, you can sell a product if it provides value to the world around you. You'll create something that's successful and you will make money off of it. But for me, the main driving force is not about making money. It's about having a bigger difference to the world. And really, I think, we're working towards it right now. I'm actually starting a new project. It was going to be today, but I'm pushing it back to tomorrow now. But it's called In the Coffee Queue. Okay. So basically, buying the person behind you a coffee, start the day off or end the day with a favour. And it really helps to change people's perception of the day already. So you think, actually, you know what, today's going to be a good day. Or if you've had a bad day and someone buys you a coffee or whatever drink it is at the end of the day, they think, actually, you know what, the world isn't such a bad place. But at the same time, you have a knock-on effect where they'll do a favour to someone else. And the third side of it is to really start to drive conversation in London, because I feel like we've got such a beautiful city here, but at the same time, and it's a ball of energy, really, but I don't feel like the energy is positive. So it's about creating a more positive city, which will just take, like, I think London's such that I'd put it as, if not the best city in the world, it's definitely top 3. I've not been to New York to compare the two, but a lot of people say New York's an amazing place as well. But yeah, like for me, I want to have a London where people feel like wow, the energy's so good here. And it's, for me, what I want to do with this project is really just have a knock-on effect. So all it takes is for me to buy someone a coffee, but at the end of the day, that last person that does a favour may go to a homeless person or someone that really needs it, but you don't necessarily need to do a favour to someone who really needs it at the beginning of the day. At the end of the day, someone will get that favour.
It's like a pay it forward kind of mentality, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of people doing things at the moment, but everyone just needs to do their own bit. And if we all help one person, I'm sure the world will be a much better place.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got Faraaz Kashkar in the building. Hint of positivity there. I like that one, sir. You're not going anywhere, are you, for a bit? Stick around.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to do, I'm going to play some music. Straight after the music, we're going to go to the news, and I've got a great guest coming in after that. And then all my guests are going to come back. We're going to have some topics. Don't go anywhere. This is Aurie Styla, BBC Radio London, The Scene. Shout out to Faraaz Kashkar.
Thanks for having me.
Loving what you're doing, sir, bro. And we'll talk to you in just a little bit. Until then, how about some Shanks and Bigfoot?